sans no break. Hosta mefta cinco basta. Hosta mefta ubre. Rishi labir groove snores ladja kor. Rishi labir usas nos dobre. Hosta mefta cinco basta. Hosta mefta ubre. Rishi labir groove snores ladja kor. Rishi labir usas nos norbrek.
Yazor, why Yazor, go, if not.
Stardate. A Thursday afternoon?
What?
Huh? Wait, we're just in the middle of like a weekday because we're just around and doing this? Yeah, that's right. Hi, everybody, and welcome to another installment of the Noteworthy, our Star Trek Adventures game. And this is kind of a bit of an experiment. This is kind of a weird, more conceptual one. So I hope this goes, hope this is fun and interesting, and I think it will be. My name's Philip. I'm Starfleet Command for this game. And with me are some of the crew of the Noteworthy, And I will even say, at least for the beginning, we can classify this as 1.5 crew members of the Noteworthy, because Quincy Vale is still on the clock.
Wait, I'm still on what?
On the clock.
Oh, yes.
Quincy Vale's,
Don't tell my job.
yeah, don't. Oh yeah, good point. So in any case, yeah, we're going to be doing kind of an interesting thing, and I mean this with great affection, having been rewatching through a lot of Next Generation, and now I've just been putting on some DS9s to like have in the background. And
It's the best series.
I'm gonna be so honest. Deep Space Nine is clearly the best series. It is obviously if you say what Star Trek series holistically is the best, it's obviously Deep Space Nine. You disagree?
Oh. Wait, I thought you said TNG. Never mind. Yes,
Deep Space Nine is obviously the best and the most cohesive and the most it's just not my favorite. Because I just don't.
There's some episode like Next Generation has the most banger episodes.
The best Next Generation episodes are the best episodes. Yeah. And I'm even going to make the case that like the best TOS episodes. I know not everyone's understandably not everyone's like really down with content from 50 years ago just aesthetically. I get it. But like when Next Generation or when TOS is like sitting on the edge of forever, come on, it's so good. I just happen to really not like the Cardassian design or anything to do with Cardassians or Bajorans or Ferengi or Klingon. It's just
we're not friends anymore.
It's just stuff that I care about less.
You said you don't care about it and you don't like it. You don't like the Cardassians. Why?
I just don't care.
Philip, no, Philip. They're not the Kardashians.
No, Kim Kardashian is always there on the USS. I don't even have a joke. I don't even have one.
I'm a bigger fan of Chris Bajoran.
Goldu Chris.
I'm trying to get a Garrick joke because Garrick is clearly a 10 out of 10 character. I'm not I
Garrick
like DS9. He's so good. It's so good. Okay, I've gotten off the thread and just exposed myself as a bad person because I don't know.
Don't worry.
Hey, you're not a true fan of Star Trek.
Apparently not.
Don't expose yourself.
Hey, have you finished Discovery yet?
No.
Okay, cool. I've literally watched. You know what? I have now watched all of Star Trek except for cartoons. I have not. I'm going to watch Prodigy, but I haven't watched Prodigy yet. And I'm.
Have you seen the animated series?
The old-fashioned one?
Yeah.
I have not watched all of it, but I've seen several episodes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But
Easy.
I don't know. It's just it's good. It's just not the stuff that gets me excited. I'm always so much more into talk to some Vulcans, you guys. And yes, I know there's some good Vulcan stuff in DS9, and it is very good. Also, when DS9's good, it's clearly good. And even the DS9 doesn't have terrible episodes the way that Next Generation does.
I will say when DS9 is at its peak, it's very it's either addressing things that we as Terrans in this time can relate to. That's one of the ways that it's best. Mm-hmm. And then also in relation to war and stuff, that's also when it's at its best, which TNG has kind of everything in between and is very, very solidly Star Trek, not things that we as humans here on Earth can relate to in such an intimate way. DS9 puts a mirror up to us and we're like, ugh.
What? TNG doesn't have a moment where it's computer erase that entire log.
I don't like that.
I still love that. I stand by Cisco. Sometimes you just got to get it out.
I don't like
I
that.
love it.
I love that episode. I don't like that framing sequence.
That reminds me of when I was 12 years old, wrote everything I was feeling down and burnt that shit.
Okay.
Visceral.
So anyway,
everybody.
I'm working. Stop just.
Yeah.
Oh my god. The point being. I out myself as a not 1 trillion% DS9 fan and invite all of the rage that brings by saying that, by talking about Next Generation, Next Generation has like great episodes, and those are what we're gonna try to do as our first Friday every month. But like, there's also these like kind of like other episodes, some of which maybe are kind of just like weird and goofy, but others of which are ones I really like, but like they're really so focused on just one character that they don't make sense as our one game a month, thing, if that makes sense. So that's kind of why I want to do these just weird one-offs. Sometimes, like based on how quickly we sort of like get through like the like some narrative stuff or some things people learn, I might be like, cool, we're gonna do 2 episodes today, and maybe one of the episodes will be a real quick one where we just like describe like oh, you go to a colony and everyone acts like this, and you guys are like, what a bunch of weirdos, and one of you has a romance with someone from the colony, and at the end is like no, we're not going to give you this technology to, I don't know, X or Y or Z,
But Simon Giles isn't here today.
Simon Giles isn't here, and so but here's the thing: did Simon Giles learn something more permanent from that event last week? Because he may have, because he did invoke one of his values in a major way.
Yeah.
So we'll kind of get to how that works. Where I will, however, say as a general way, you guys can invoke your values in these games if you ever want to, but these will never be episodes with like huge turning points of your values. I would think so. All of that is to say that today's episode is going to be focusing on Lieutenant Commander Sennek, our Vulcan helmsman. But Quincy Vale will potentially pop in, or will assuredly pop in character, and then the other crew members who we know I'll be doing as some NPCs. So that's kind of the vibe of today's game. I will not be writing. I won't be like composing captain's logs ahead of these, and many times these might be episodes that don't start with a captain's log, because they don't always start with a captain's log. Sometimes they start with, like on DS9 it'll just be like there's a scene in Quarks, or sometimes there'll be a scene in 10 Forward, like there's these, but we will still do a credit sequence, don't worry. Okay. And we'll still have act breaks, but we might not, the act breaks are more sort of skeletal. So I've been talking about this weirdness for long enough. I think maybe we'll go ahead and get into this and try it. And I think you guys may see how I've described this. I think in the Instagram post I said it's almost kind of like a hybrid of a role-playing game and like a brainstorming session, like a writer's room whiteboard session. So we'll see how this goes. So for our teaser, Mr. Sennek, we're going to open with you. Just because I do have to call something back to TNG in a big way. You are stalking through like a jungle. Ooh, let me do some more appropriate music. There we go. You are sort of stalking through a jungle. It is dark night. There are sort of vines and a thick fog hanging as you move through these ruins. Your bat'leth in hand. Suddenly, a warrior jumps out to face you wearing armor and having a skeleton head. Does everybody know what I'm talking about?
Vaguely, yeah.
This warrior rushes you with a weapon. Please make a bat'leth roll for me.
Okay, so this is what am I? It's like what, I guess, fitness and security, or
this would be, that's right. This is the game where I have to decide that. Welcome to the weekday afternoons. Yeah, let's have this be, so bat'leth means you'll get to use your, it's all coming back to all of us. Bat'leth means that your discipline will be the sort of, so like anything below that counts as 2 successes. Let's call this fitness and, fitness and security sounds great, so 12.
Neither succeeded.
Neither succeeded.
15 and 16.
So, Mr. Sennek, you kind of go to move your bat'leth, but you have this on an extremely high setting. And do you know the stuff? Do you know what I'm talking about for like the?
Not well enough to play along with.
Okay, so
reference.
Basically, whatever Worf is, whatever
Yeah,
Worf is doing his trading thing. There's these like skeleton monsters he's fighting.
Right. Yeah.
So that's who you're fighting. So that skeleton monster, as you sort of rush up to, as you sort of do that, kind of will, you sort of swing with your bat'leth at the skeleton monster, parries, and then knocks you down on the ground. It's going to raise its axe and swing for you, but you'll do some kind of like last minute, roll to the side. Go ahead and make another one. However, because it's got you sort of like on your feet, the difficulty to succeed at this is being raised by 1. And as of now, you have no momentum. Oh, momentum's going to be so much harder in these games.
4 and 6, so 2 successes.
2 successes, excellent. So you manage, however, to kind of it knocked you down. You weren't able to do it, but you managed to just kind of, not get emotional, not give in like the warrior would. So you're not doing this the way a Klingon would, but you do manage to, lure it in and disarm the creature, and you hit it, and it disappears, and the holodeck program sort of ends. Even so, as you stand here holding this bat'leth, your thoughts turn to your friend. Your friend who died several years ago. It's a Klingon whose name we have not yet come up with. So let's do that right now. Would you please roll a d10 if you have one handy?
D10, I do in fact have one handy. 4.
Cormorg. Khormorgh.
Khormorgh.
Yes. Khormorgh. So, fights skeletons with a bat'leth, barely succeeds. Thoughts turn to Cormorg. And, your sort of thoughts of this will actually, I guess we'll even say that the way that, like, Worf had one, this is Cormorg's program.
Yes.
So, ooh, and I like this little detail. How about this? You still have yet to defeat it on the hardest setting.
Correct. I am still training.
This is only like even after these years. As you sort of try to do this, from sort of like the shadows, emerges a small creature.
Oh, yeah, I see. This thing's, I mean, do you keep just, I mean, it's cool you're winning, but do you want to, like, practice on a lower setting or something?
There is nothing to be gained by running through this program on, as I have heard some of the humans refer to it as, easy mode.
I mean, okay, I just, you're like,
it is through the struggle that one will find a greater degree of success later.
I understand, and I'm not even saying it's like, it's not like, it's not,
I'm not trying to give any disrespect. At this point, one of these skeleton things like rushes out of the dark, sort of swinging for you, Senek. And Specialist Grimm, who's there, is going to jump up with his knives and stab at this thing. Now, Specialist Grimm wound up being built for one purpose, everybody. Ooh, boy! And Specialist Grimm rolls a 4 and a 3. And when he uses his goblin jutsu, he uses his security's a 4. So he's going to score 4 successes on this. So so basically, as he sort of jumps up, he also rolls. I haven't even introduced you guys to damage dice. I'm just gonna do it with him real quick. Okay, so that's he just kind of stabs up and like stabs into this thing before it gets to you. Clearly, he's really in his element in this program. He's not fighting with a bat'leth, but even with his little daggers he uses, he just kind of jumps up and kind of kills one instinctively. I mean, it's as the thing just bursts apart into little pixelated nonsense.
it's like, it's no disrespect. I just mean, like,
No, I respect your martial prowess, Specialist.
I mean, you don't, yeah, I'm not trying to show off. I just, like, you might, you might want to, like, practice the moves against the weaker ones, and then, I don't
I have
know.
already succeeded against this program on an easier setting.
I understand. Well, this isn't even the hardest setting.
No, it is not.
At this
Although
point, yeah, go ahead.
I would say it would be futile to jump to the highest setting immediately.
I don't disagree with that part. Okay.
In any case, suddenly there is a Bridge Lieutenant Commander Senek.
Lieutenant Commander Senek, come in.
Lieutenant Commander, we have an influential guest arriving very soon. Starfleet Admiral is going to be joining us. Probably will be requiring a transport on a shuttle at some point after rendezvousing with us here. So we would love for you to be present for his arrival.
Very well, I shall go prepare myself immediately.
Thank you. And Grimm's just kind of twirling around knives like,
Oh, okay, well, duty calls. I guess I'll go hide in Jeffrey's tubes.
and he kind of just says, "Good game, GG," and then he goes and climbs into a Jeffrey's tube immediately outside of the holodeck.
I will head to my quarters and clean up and change.
Perfect. All right. So, as you go and you get ready, you put your batleth away. Your thoughts certainly turn to your friend Cormorg, and Cormorg did not die in battle, as most Klingons hope to do. So there's always kind of a bittersweet sort of feeling about such things. But in any case, you have your duty to do. So you put your batleth away. You head to the hangar bay where the Captain Winter is there, as is the Commander Grace Maxwell. She's present. We'll say Quincy Vale is there as well, but she's she's on a pad at the time. It's all good. So as Quincy's just kind of a few folks are gathering. A shuttle lands coming into your shuttle banks. It is you got a shuttle from just some other ship. Lands. It's a Class 9 shuttle, kind of the standard one they're using at this time. I think they're Class 9. Hold on. This matters to me, everyone.
No, the detail is important.
I think it's a Class 2 shuttle, but are they Type? I think it's Type 9 is what they're using in this time period. Yeah, Type 9 shuttlecraft. Okay, cool. So, as the Type 9 shuttlecraft lands, they're kind of the more, like, sleeker ones, like, they're a little more, like, dagger-like there. It's, like, what they have, like, in, like, the Next Generation movies, as opposed to the straight-up, like, panel van-looking ones that they have for the Next Generation series. This shuttle lands.
Yes.
It opens. A couple of sort of like, Starfleet aides or whatever step off. And at that point, the captain says, "Admiral Paulson, it's so nice to meet you," and steps forward and extends a hand and starts doing this. Well, we hope we can provide. Would you like to be shown to your quarters, or do we need to get ready at this? This is Commander Maxwell, and Grace Maxwell sort of steps forward and nods. This is our Counselor Vale, and this is our helmsman, Mr. Senek.
I don't see anyone.
All right, you do not see anyone, no.
Do I hear any footsteps from, like, where there should be, and nothing?
You
Just
hear
no-
footsteps of some other, like, there's like one or two other people coming off the shuttle, but no. They are sort of looking at a totally imaginary empty space.
I will just nod my head and say, "Admiral?"
The captain sort of says, "Well, let's to the conference room then. This way, please. We have many diplomatic suites." And they begin walking out, and everyone sort of walks out of the room.
I would like to grab Commander Maxwell for a second.
Okay. Yeah, that's easily done. She can pause there. Oh, Mrs. Senek?
Commander,
Yeah.
do you have a moment?
A very brief one. Can we do it on the walk, or?
I believe I may need to check into medical.
Oh, what's wrong?
I lower my voice. Do I know what's going on with Paul? Like, do I know anything about Admiral Paulson?
Never heard of an Admiral Paulson.
I could not see any Admiral Paulson.
And off Grace Maxwell's confused look. We'll start our opening credits. Bum, ba bum, bum. Space. Oh, wait. Space. The final frontier. It's a planet. That was a planet. These are the voyages. That's a bigger planet. Of the starship Noteworthy. Its continuing mission to bring together strange new cultures. This is a really weird shaped planet. To promote peace and understanding. And to spread a message of diplomacy through the Federation. And beyond. And then there's like bum ba da bum ba da bum, starring Ethan Douglas Jorgens Jr. as Captain Harold Winter. Valerie Darcy as Commander Grace Maxwell. Also starring Zane as Lieutenant Commander Simon Giles. God, I don't have this thing ready to go. Hold on. Scroll down. Lauren as Counselor Quincy Vale. Liv is Lieutenant Commander Alina Vial. Lyle Brian Forster Tuscadero as Lieutenant Martin Dobbs. And Murray Fortenberry as Grimm. This is Stars. Cool. Act break. Act 1. Ooh, credits are playing at the beginning in the Krilly font. The first thing it says is the same thing I said in the Instagram post, and now makes sense. The Unseen. Ooh, what does that mean? Creepy. All right, so we'll actually do a bit of stalling here because this is a pretty logical sort of. Well, no, we'll start. Senek, you are in sick bay.
Yes.
We're going to say that I think Dr. Reynolds has probably already been reassigned since who was playing Dr. Reynolds had done this. So the chief medical officer is probably not on duty at this moment. You're just being given a scan by a human woman, just one of the other doctors. What's her name? Well,
Creverly Busher.
No, although I did just roll a B for the first name. It can't be Beverly. It's B-D... Betty Davis. No, that's a person. Betty Donaldson is her name. All right. And so she's just fully tricording you like... I'm not seeing any... I even have this set to Vulcan stats, and your mind seems perfectly intact, Lieutenant Commander. I'm not seeing any elevated levels other than a little bit of sort of your stress hormones, but that's to be expected if you're concerned. But I don't see anything physiologically wrong with you at all.
Thank you, Doctor. Have you ever encountered Admiral Paulson?
Oh, I haven't. Sorry, I'm, and this is like this is not even the chief medical officer.
Yeah. I'm just. Yeah.
But she'll say no. I've really never even heard of an Admiral Paulson.
Who calmed me when I was in the
captain?
When I was in the holiday, the captain calmed me.
The captain calmed you.
Very well. Thank you, Doctor. Am I on like are there any duties currently required of me?
You're probably supposed to be on the helm shortly, but
Okay. Then before I head up to the bridge,
yeah.
I would like to just as I'm walking, even grab a data pad and do a cursory scan of look for Admiral Paulson's service record.
Excellent. You pull up the computer and begin to look for an Admiral Paulson. And the computer in that Majel Barrett voice says, "No entry found for an Admiral Paulson."
Is there? Okay. I am currently processing options in my head. The options I can think of.
Yeah, you see, this is one of these TNG episodes where one person's like, something's wrong, weird. Yeah.
The options currently in my head are that and this is in no particular order except the order of which they have occurred to me. The senior crew are playing a practical joke on me.
Mm-hmm.
There is some illness or something affecting certain members of the ship. There were a couple other that have come to me. I'm still stuck on a holodeck program that is malfunctioning somehow, but has not been complete. I guess tampered with in a perfect way.
Okay.
Because if it were tampered with more effectively, then everyone would know Admiral Paulson except for me.
I guess the question, these are all very Star Trek plausible possible explanations. The first one...
The question is, which one is the simplest?
Which one is the simplest? Also, we'll say just for contrivance sake, you are due on the bridge in about 5 minutes. Are you going to go?
Okay. I have duty to attend to. I will head to the bridge.
Perfect. So, you head to the bridge. On the bridge, we will say that Marvin is there at the ops station. You walk in, and some unnamed ensign just stands up and walks away as you sit down, like the do. And at present, actually, and you don't have to jump in yet if you're still doing stuff, but Quincy Vale is actually in command at present because she's the second officer, and Maxwell and or she kind of has the con because Maxwell and the captain are apparently off still speaking with this new guest, this Admiral Paulson. So hi, Quincy Vale.
Hi.
So you are currently in the center chair on the bridge. The lights are, this is day watch. The lights are nice and bright. It's like TNG bright, not Voyager bright. It's like bright.
Uh-huh.
That's how Winter likes it. And you were down in the bay earlier. You met Admiral Paulson, who came aboard. A shuttle kind of contacted you and said, we have an admiral who's here to sort of discuss some things with you. And so you met him in the hangar bay, and now the captain and Commander Maxwell are in the process of discussing things with him in one of the briefing rooms, and you're at the con as the ship is sitting there. The shuttle that came has now departed. That came for him. And Senec has just arrived here.
If Counselor Vale is on the bridge, I would like to Counselor, before I take my station, may I have a brief word with you in private?
Absolutely. And I'll turn to whoever is third in command, I guess, and say, you have the bridge?
You could give it to, it's honestly, it's sort of your choice who you sort of hand the little thing to. The other sort of senior officers here right now is Marvin Dobbs is at the ops station.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just, just looking through like, oh boy, yep, okay, power systems are, he just, that's his whole shtick. And then Alina Vial, your Bajoran security chief, Liv's character, is at the tactical station, and she's currently speaking to a few of her security staff, including Specialist Grimm, who's sort of over there, and she's sort of saying, just we want to have things in. She's kind of just giving them some, general orders of, if we have an admiral here, let's make sure we have, present watches, all that sort of stuff. Grimm kind of gives you a look, Senek, as you come on, like,
Oh yeah, we were just doing cool stuff. Yeah, cool.
so yes, so basically you'd probably either leave it in the hands of Marvin or Alina.
I'll hand it to Dobbs.
Dobbs, cool. Okay, cool. Alina's in the midst of some stuff.
Yeah. How can I help you, Commander?
Counselor, I'm experiencing what you might refer to as a strange day.
Ah, yes. I had a few of those in the last few weeks. I'm sure you noticed. What are you experiencing?
I did not. This is going to be a strange question that I'm asking you, but what does Admiral Paulson look like?
You would describe a middle-aged gentleman. Looks very sort of like authoritative. He has a mustache, so he's not. He likes to party in some ways, but he's very by the book in others. That's what that means. Yeah, that's his vibe.
Okay.
Should I do character actors?
Sure.
Let's go.
Sam Neill from Peaky Blinders.
I don't know what Sam Neill's. I haven't watched Peaky Blinders.
He has a mustache in Peaky Blinders.
Is it an insane mustache?
Not insane.
Sure. That sounds great.
So I'll describe that and then say, I could have sworn you met him earlier. You were present, weren't you? I was absorbed in my data pad, but I could have sworn you were there.
I'm saying this. I'm also saying this all like under, like kind of like lower, so that other people.
No, you guys like stepped into like another like antechamber or something for sure.
I did not see anyone present. I saw the captain. What to my eyes, it appeared the captain was shaking hands with thin air. Taking context cues, when I was introduced, I nodded and was deferential for rank, as would be appropriate for any admiral coming aboard this ship.
Mm-hmm.
But I cannot see anyone. Are you familiar with Admiral Paulson's service record? Have you looked at that recently?
Well, first of all, I just want to make sure that you're okay. And while this may be psychological in nature, I just want to make sure that you've gotten an assessment from sickbay.
I had a complete scan done and they found no anomalies.
Interesting. Well, in regard to his service record,
you can you have your data pad with you. You've been looking at it. You can start reading off Admiral Paulson's entire service record to him.
And I'm sure that you have this information as well. I mean, your access is.
I attempt to pull up the service record again.
On your pad, it says nothing.
When I look at his pad, does it say nothing as well?
No, it's got the full service record.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah, no. It's a reasonable question, but you're kind of like, oh, okay, and he's like, I got nothing, and you look and you're like, what about? Yeah, it's just.
I see nothing here. Given that the medical scan found nothing concerning,
and they checked your eyes. I know. I'm just making sure.
I requested what you would call the works.
Okay. Where is this person?
The admiral is currently in a conversation with the captain and the commander in one of the briefing rooms.
Are there little holes in the doors?
I think probably not. They close pretty, they close pretty sturdily.
Okay, so I'm going to turn my data pad around
Mm-hmm.
and say, do you see anything on here?
It just says no entry found. It's completely blank.
I see no entry found. So, if you are, this rules out. Well, this does not rule out, but I do not believe that you would lean this heavily into a practical joke. So I'm ruling out that possibility.
I would never want to make anyone feel that they were having any psychological kind of incident or anything like that. I would never do that to you. I hope that you know that any practical joke I would play with you would be very literal, because I know that you don't catch on to human nuance or trill nuance. So I just want to make sure. But no, of course, I would never psychologically.
Yes. Counselor,
Just
I am very aware, and this is why I am ruling out that possibility.
Okay, well, I'm glad we have that settled. I'm gonna check in on Dobbs really quick just to make sure he's okay to handle this for a few more minutes. He's a little,
I think that is
on edge all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go see if Dobbs is okay, because
Sure.
he seemed flustered.
Dobbs is how will I phrase this? Dobbs, if you're like, watch the ship, that's fine. Dobbs will watch the ship, no problem, and like, if anything happens, he'll follow stuff by the book. It's just like, while doing it, when there's nothing going on, he's like, oh my god, these data structures are just, oh god, we gotta find a way to get this higher. Oh boy, oh
So I'm gonna pop in
Yeah.
and say, Dobbs, I'm gonna have you take over for a few more minutes, perhaps longer.
That's
All
fine. At this point, however, there is a hail, kind of for all of you, or not a hail. The comms go, and it's the captain saying, or actually, it would be the commander saying, "Could we have the senior bridge crew in conference room, or in briefing room 2, please?" So that would be all of you, including Dobbs.
Yep. So I'll nod at Senec, and as we're walking, I'll walk right next to him and say, let's just see what happens in this room, and we can talk about it after.
Mm-hmm. So, the doors to the room open. Senec, you walk in, you see the captain sort of like is in like the side seat, not at the head of the table, turned to just the empty chair. Maxwell is on the other side, and the captain says, everyone please join us. You've met some of my staff already. This is Admiral Paulson, who's come here with some concerning news. Senec. Oh, there also are a couple of other aides in the room of Admiral Paulson's who've sort of come aboard.
Do I have
you do
any
see
sort
them.
of... Do I have any sort of like scanner or anything that I could discreetly use, or I wouldn't be equipped with that?
Because you are not like if you were like a science officer, I'd let you try that, but to do that,
Yeah.
You absolutely could, but like,
Wait, I am a science officer.
you're not like these. You're in the sciences division. You're not you don't just.
You're
always
a
have
touchy-feely science officer.
You're a brain science. I think
I'm a liberal arts.
I would say you could attempt that, but you'd have to make some kind of like stealthiness roll, and based on your stats, don't.
Leave me alone.
You could try it. I'd let it be control rather than fitness, but yeah. You have no means of doing a scan that would be covert in this moment. But as everyone kind of sits down, Dobbs sits and Vial sits down, and everybody sort of gathers around the table. The captain says, "Well, Admiral, if you would." And I'm keeping this one to Senec's POV. So even though Vale, you now hear a speech, Senec, it's just kind of quiet for several moments. And
I'm like half waiting and half like brainstorming more ideas of what this could possibly be.
You notice kind of like the others are sort of like exchanging looks here or there. Occasionally someone will say, "No, sir, that would probably not be a problem." Suddenly, however, everybody looks at you, Senec.
Can I say, oh, so Senec, what do you think of, and
basically this person just asked if your helms, what you heard, Quincy Vale, was Admiral Paulson asking if and helm control, Mr. Senec, was it? Are you familiar with nebular navigation? That's what was asked.
I believe that he is familiar with nebular navigation.
Yes, Admiral. I'm well qualified to traverse many different celestial entities and various.
Maxwell gives you like a look because you did tell her about this, and she's kind of
Yes.
In any case, there's a few more sort of quiet moments as all this happens, and the captain says, Well, I suppose there's very little at this point there's nothing to do but begin preparations. Everyone, you understand your duties at this time. We will reconvene in a couple of hours to discuss more. And Vale, we'll get to what you've heard, but he says, all right, then, dismissed, Admiral. Can I show you to quarters? And he pauses and kind of nods as if yes was just said. The doors open, and the captain walks out and says, this way, Admiral, and Vial goes with him. Maxwell stays behind. Dobbs and Simon, they walk out to go, prepare for some things. Maxwell says, are you all right, Mr. Senek?
Commander, I do not believe so.
Act break!
Just wanted to.
And we're back.
Ah.
Act 2.
It's always so unexpected.
I know, I like to do it to mess with them.
I think I mean, like, I would have said that we should bring this to the captain's attention, so I would say like this would be like with the captain involved.
Understood. All right, then you guys are in the captain's ready room, and Vale, it's you, the captain, Vale, and oh god, I get to do my favorite Star Trek thing in the world here in a second. Hold on. It's the captain, Maxwell, Vale, and you are in the room.
So yes, Captain, I am unable to see Admiral Paulson. When I pull up Admiral Paulson's record, there seems to be no knowledge of it, and when I got a complete medical scan, nothing was revealed. And what was the doctor's name again? Dr.
Donaldson.
Dr. Donaldson had also not heard of Admiral Paulson.
I mean, I was not particularly familiar with Admiral Paulson until today, but I'm not familiar with every admiral there is.
Very well. Yeah, well, I guess, Phil, would that be weird for like people to not know about every? Okay.
No. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, then.
Fair enough.
So
but yeah.
I have ruled out that the senior staff is playing a practical joke on me, as I expressed to Counselor Vale. My other.
She didn't respond like that. I would never.
My other hypotheses are that there is something that we are not able to detect affecting some of my senses. That I am currently stuck in a holodeck program that is run amok, or that there is some other spatial or some such similar effect that is impeding my judgment. But regardless of what is happening right now, it seems that I am not fit to serve until I can see every person who is on this ship.
I don't disagree with the sentiment, Mr. Senek. Unfortunately, part of the plan was for you to take the Admiral in a shuttle to a rendezvous point within that nebula. I don't know how many others we trust to pilot. And Grace Maxwell will say, I can do it, Captain. He says, even so, Commander.
It seems that I require another entire briefing of this mission, as I was able to hear none of it.
You heard none of it.
Yes, Captain, I'm sorry. That's why I spoke a little out of turn.
I understand, Counselor. Well, Commander Senek, you're just a wonderful officer. I trust your judgment. I believe you, and yet it's very strange. I wonder, to sort of, I'm not a particular expert on Vulcan techniques or meditations, but I wonder if you're having some kind of telepathic issue. Perhaps you could
Anything like that I would know of?
make a I want this to be, this will be control or reason. Actually, no, it would probably be reason at this point as you're thinking. This would be reason and science, unfortunately, so a 13.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is a 7 and a 12.
7 and 12, so 2 successes. So you're kind of racking your mind for things that could happen, and you certainly can think the idea, you could certainly imagine that all you can think of is that it would be a targeted, like, this would more be something that would be like a targeted, like telepathic attack against you. You can't think of any, like, conditions.
Are you going to share that?
Yes.
Would that be something that Quincy would be able to assist with her focus being psychology?
I mean, I think you could definitely help him guide in meditation, but, like, Vulcan meditation is such a specific thing that he could sort of try to meditate and see what he could see.
Oh, Captain, I was unable to run a full psychological exam on Lieutenant Commander Senek. I was wondering if I might be able to perform something to see if maybe we can get this resolved.
I think that would be best. Go ahead and do a full psychological exam. Let's try to keep this. I will mention to Dr. Donaldson not to discuss this with anyone else. Obviously, for confidentiality reasons, I'm sure she hasn't, but we'll try to keep this under wraps. This is in case you can't tell, Mr. Senek, this is a very delicate mission we're being sent on.
It would seem so.
And as such, let's try to get you seeing clearly. Yes, please, Counselor, help the Lieutenant Commander as much as you can. Commander, he kind of looks at Maxwell and says, perhaps you should dust off your shuttle piloting skills if it does come to it. And she kind of just does like a, give it a shot. Actually, wait, is she even good at con? I don't even know if she is. I was just saying that because a lot of times, like, command people, like Riker always considers himself. She's actually pretty good at con. It's not her highest, but she's fine. Okay, so it's been told. Basically, yes. Vale will help you with the psyche val.
Yes, Counselor, present me with some ink blots.
That is ancient technology, but I'm proud of you for being familiar with those techniques.
I was attempting to make a joke.
That was very funny, Senek. Yes. Great job.
As you guys go, where are you going to take him, Counselor?
I would actually like to take him to the holodeck.
Oh, okay, sure. How do you program?
It's just going to be a traditional. Her office. She has a program for her specific office in here. She just wants the flexibility of being able to bring in her other holo programs.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I'm going to say on this ship. Let's just make this call. Your office is equipped with a holo. Basically, your office is a holo suite. It's not a full deck, but your office is a. Based on your treatment styles.
Yes. Okay, perfect. Then we go to my office, and it is currently just my office.
I am at your disposal, Counselor.
I don't believe that this is something that would be permanent. However, when things like this happen to individuals, typically it's triggered by something traumatic that has happened either very soon before or in one's past. Is there something that could have caused you to come under a significant amount of duress that's happened recently?
Not recently. I have all the events that have occurred in my Star Trek career, I have undergone the requisite counseling for.
Okay. That's very good. I'm very proud of you. And is there anything that's been recurring in either your thoughts or your dreams, or perhaps something that's come up during your meditations?
I mean, Philip, has there been anything weird coming up in meditations at all, or?
We'll say just for like tying things back to the beginning's sake, your thoughts have been with I can't Cormorg.
Oh, more, yes. I have been. My deceased friend Cormorg has been in my thoughts lately, although I have never heard of grief or missing someone causing an individual to become entirely unable to see another individual who is entirely unrelated.
Grief is strange, and it can impact us in very odd and peculiar and unique ways. So I don't want to discredit that may be what's causing this.
I will say, computer, list Admiral Paulson's service record.
Okay. You hear, unable to access that data. Vale, you just sit there as a service record is played.
Is anything Klingon in his service record? I'm familiar with his friend, right? Like he's
He's probably talked to you about Cormorg
Okay.
before. No, you hear no reference. Nothing jumps out at you as like, aha. You know, nothing. Like.
And then after
That being said, I'm gonna throw one in there. Okay, I'm gonna throw in a curveball here because we hadn't determined what it was. You can, Lieutenant Commander Sedek, this is like a realization of things or whatever, but I will mention Sedek. Let's say that Cormorg, the illness that killed him, caused sort of like it really ravaged his mind. He became very incoherent and like was seeing things that weren't. So there's a certain sense of like that's a connection. Is like at the end he had this kind of like break with reality, and now you're, you know, maybe that's a thing that's somehow tying these together.
Having that realization, then I will mention this to Counselor Vale, and I will say perhaps in addition to any analysis of my mind that we perform here, it may also be worth analyzing both Cormorg's Batleth as well as the holodeck program which he used, and which I have been using to train with the Batleth.
Well, what was the disease that he died of? And
Vale, go ahead and make he can say the name of it. We won't come up with that. Yeah. Let's have you roll an insight and science. It's a 15, and because of xenobiology, I'm going to say if you roll a 4 or lower on either of these d20s, it's 2 successes.
I got a 3 on insight and a 2 on science.
So that's 4 total successes. So we're going to give you 3 momentum. Would you like to spend one of those momentum right now to be extremely familiar with this disease?
It would be psychological, since it would degrade people. Like, it would make sense for her to...
Yes, exactly.
Okay, sure.
Then
how do I remove that?
No, you don't remove anything. I keep track of your guys' momentum, and you already got 2 from a previous thing when Senek did it, but now you're gonna get 2 more because you.
And I'm sorry, it's just 2d6 that I was to roll, right?
Oh no, 2d20.
Oh,
Let's do those again because you had a very successful thing. Oh no, you must re-roll on that, my friend.
Yeah.
Because earlier we were talking about it being D6s. We use many systems on this channel. Sorry. Dan.
It's a D20 system. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys.
So I did get a 1 on
Perfect.
On the first one, insight.
They're not separated. You just roll 2 D20, and because it's the 2 different things, that's the sum you're trying to roll under.
A 1 and a
A
17.
1 and a 17. The 17 is not a success, but since the 1 is 2 successes, I will let you... basically, going to give the exact same thing because you can still spend that 1 momentum on this thing, so none goes into the
Okay.
pool, but you know it. Yeah, it's a 2d20 system. Star Trek Adventures, everyone. But, guys, it's a casual one today. It's loosey-goosey.
We also play so many different systems
really-
on this that I forget what uses what.
We really do. It's very fine. You are, in fact, familiar with that disease. But... it is a disease in Klingons. You have never heard of it affecting a Vulcan. So, there's a part of you, I guess we should call it some syndrome. We'll call it, Kiros syndrome. It's a lot of apostrophes, you guys. Kirosh. Put an H on the end of their S's. That's how they pronounce it. So, so you do not believe a Vulcan could come down with the sort of like in the sort of brain and spinal cord inflammation that is Kirosh syndrome that makes the mind go sort of wild and it shuts the body down.
Would that have been caught in the assessment, or is it like a rapidly progressing disease that like it could have changed from the time that he had his I'm a hypochondriac and it's coming out now.
I'll say that you have you know about like diseases that have like that can impact people's minds as a sort of psychiatrist, but like you do not know about like interspecies. You've never heard of anything like that. We'll phrase it like that. But there certainly is maybe some degree of he's worried about his own mind if he's been thinking of his friend. Perhaps there's something to that.
Okay. Well, physically, I don't see that it would be possible for you to contract this disease, but perhaps your concerns around your friend having it and his untimely demise have been weighing heavily on your mind and your emotions.
Yes, I agree that is a possibility. However, it would seem to me that if you were weighing on me to such a degree that it were affecting my ability to see one specific person and hear recordings related to one specific person, would there not also be other symptoms?
There could be, but that's why I don't believe that it is that, just to calm your mind. Is there anything... I'm trying to think. Have any of my other lives come across anything like this? Like anyone... Hold on.
I mean, you do have an ability to invoke your other lives. Basically, once per mission, you can declare that they have a focus, and you can get some insight into such things. Honestly, you are probably the host who has the most knowledge of this. But
okay.
Let's say. I'm going to have it be insight and medicine, so another 15.
Okay.
And I'll let you have a focus on it from some past life nonsense. So roll 2d20.
13 and a 9.
A 13 and 9. So none are double successes with a focus, but both are successes. So that's 2 successes. You think it is uncommon for Vulcans to be so who are often sort of try to suppress their emotions, and yet you do know that Senek very specifically did not undergo Kalimar. Which did not, basically, Senek specifically, or Kolinar. What's Kalimar?
Kalima from Temple of Doom.
Yeah.
Did not undergo Kolinar. So, so basically, it's possible that Senek's emotions might be cropping up more aggressively in a context like this. You don't, I will say that kind of like thinking back to previous hosts who might have been much more adept at the sort of science side of things, you don't believe that you really don't think there's any kind of physiological, like you don't think he could have caught
Okay.
this disease.
And Senek, did you tell me that you thought it might be targeted? Or was that just okay?
Well, it would make sense for it to be targeted if no one else on the vessel is experiencing this.
Okay. So
If it is not from within, then it is coming from without.
that's exactly along the lines of what I was going to say. Senek, you're picking up
I
so
mean,
quickly.
I will certainly say though, Vale, you're not like it entirely could be from within. Just it's not he could just be for emotional reasons, like for some reason he's just manifesting this blindness against this person for pure mental things. But you don't think
the cause is not from
that disease.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So next steps strategically, that would probably be more your area. But I'm here to help.
Yes, my next course of action would be to analyze the program that I was running that was originally Cormog's, as well as track the semi-recent path of this vessel and see if we have passed near or through any anomalies that may have affected me.
Okay. Can I bring up his most recent holodeck program?
Technically, you could bring it up in here. Yeah, you have an emitter. And it's the exercise program. It's Worf's program where he fights skeletons.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're able to sort of see that. I am going to, however, say that as you guys, now that you have like a course of inquiry you're going to look at, I'm going to say act break. Act 3, commercials over, because on streaming there's not commercials. You're back. They didn't even. No one said a word during that act break. No,
Well,
we all just sat there. Yeah,
come right back.
Then
And
we
that's
come
like,
right
well,
back. So, so basically, we'll sort of say there's a scene in which, actually, I'm going to do one scene with Vale without Senek here at this point. But Vale, we're going to have you come and talk to, Specialist Grimm.
Yes.
Because he was in that program with Senek. He is just like standing guard duty somewhere. Actually, no, he's in a Jeffries tube.
Okay.
So
I'll
yeah.
I'll go. Does he have a favorite one? And am I familiar with that one?
No, he is assigned go hang out in this Jeffries tube.
Oh, I thought he said I'll just go hide in the Jeffries tubes earlier.
He did, but that's because that's his assignment. He when there's like security stuff, he's just in Jeffries tubes. Like,
Okay, I'll go over there, sure.
you know, he's just ready to jump down and stab people.
So I'll go in and I'll climb up and say, "Hello, Grim.
Hello,
I don't mean to
counselor.
bother you. I know
not-
you're super busy."
I'm really not busy. I'm just watching these visitors.
Oh, okay. I just had, and I'll like go in and sit, next to him and say, "I just had a few questions to ask you, if you don't mind.
Of course.
I know that you were with Commander Senek in his holo program.
Yep.
In his holo program, I was wondering if you've been in it before, and
He's
you've been
taken
in
me
it
in
before.
once or twice, but
Oh, okay.
Actually,
was
wait.
there anything?
Maybe that was the first time. What do you think, Senek? Is that the first time he was in there?
Probably, and that is because this was probably been a private experience for me.
Okay, cool.
oh no, this is my first time. It's a pretty good one. I like the skeleton
Yeah.
guys.
Oh,
They
I know.
feel
They're
familiar for some reason. They feel on brand.
I see. Yes, they're very scary to me from what I've seen. Anyways, I was wondering if there was anything interesting that happened when you were in there, aside from the traditional Klingon fighting and
Nope.
bat lift and whatnot.
Nope. It
No.
all seemed normal. I don't.
Okay.
Holodecks smell weird to me. Like I can tell. Like I can smell what you're smelling, but I can tell. I can always tell I'm in one.
I know what you mean.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's not quite an authentic smell. It's got a little metallic
There's always that. Yeah. And not
Yeah,
the
once it
good
settles.
blood kind. Yeah.
Yeah, not completely accurate. We'll work on that. But who did you see in there?
Just those skeleton dudes and Senek.
Okay. I don't even know what to ask.
You're just confirming that I will tell you. Okay, so I guess I should do some backfill. Scans of the holodeck that he was on and the program, totally clean, nothing amiss with either one.
Okay. And did you get a chance to fight any of the skeletons?
Yeah.
Did you win?
Well, yeah, but I mean, I would maybe sometimes Senek will let me do it on the hard mode because I think I might be able to.
Oh, which mode was he on?
I think he was at like a 7.
Interesting.
Which isn't bad.
Did you know? Well, no, it takes a while to work up. There's a legendary mode.
That's like I'm interested. I mean, like I'm not saying I could do it today, but like I can.
One day. You're a very fast learner.
Well, not so much anymore. I learned a bunch of stuff fast, and now I just know it.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, I'm sure you'll continue learning and continue succeeding. I'm very proud of you, and I hope you're proud of yourself.
Hey, why are you asking about Senek? What's going on with him?
Oh, nothing. Just wondering about the holodeck program. We thought that there might be a bug or something, so we were just checking in.
Okay.
Well, if you notice or if you think of anything that you saw in there that might have been a little off, can you let me know?
Sure.
Okay. Thank you. And I'll climb down.
He's just Grim kind of twirls his dagger around and just kind of taps his tooth, like thinking. Cool. In any case, Senek, we're going to have you with Marvin. You have not sort of told him what's going on, but Marvin kind of goes through and he's like, no, yeah, according to all of our, astro navigate, what do they call it? Not astrogation in this, or is it astrogation?
Astrometrics?
Astrometrics. According to the astrometrics, no, we haven't passed by anything that's known to have any effect on Vulcan, mental acuity or anything. Geez, I hope I'm not missing something, but I'm pretty sure it's been pretty empty.
Very well. Thank you for your assistance.
At this point, Senek, the doors open, and one of the admiral's aides sort of walks in and sort of looks around and says, "Mr. Senek."
Yes.
Kind of comes up to you. She sort of walks up. She is a human, and she will just sort of say, "Hi, my name is." Fucking crap! Why do I do this? My name is Penelope. Penelope. What was it? Betty?
Yeah.
This one's I rolled PB. Penelope. Berlin. Give me a B last name. I don't know. Bonaventura. Okay. And she kind of is just sort of coming up to you, and she says, "Hi, yes, I'm Penelope Bonaventura. I'm Admiral Paulson's. I'm one of his chief aides. We just wanted to talk to you about. The captain was saying maybe you weren't going to be the one to be sort of piloting the admiral into the nebula when we arrived, but we did want to still go over a flight plan with you as you are the chief flight officer of the vessel."
Yes. Yeah. What do you have? What's this person's rank?
She would probably just be she'd probably be just a lieutenant.
Yes. What do you have, Lieutenant?
Well, can we? Are you free to speak to the? Are you free to speak to the admiral?
Have you talked to the captain recently?
Not as such, sir.
I'm afraid I am currently at a loss for words to describe what is happening, but I need to check in with the captain first, and I will
Oh,
get back.
I understand. No problem. If you're not on active duty, I apologize. I'll tell you what. Perhaps she kind of just pulls out a data pad and hands it to you and says, "Could you just check this flight plan for us?"
I'll take a look.
There is a flight plan.
Can I like look at it? Does it seem reasonable? Like, do I need to make a roll to like be like, yeah, this is a good flight plan? Like, this seems like everything will be okay.
I'll tell you what. Yes, let's have a roll about it. It'll be a con, and it is small craft, so you're going to get your focus on that.
Yeah.
This, however, I'm going to say you're going to be taking down a little bit because of as you begin to look at it, you're like, wow. It's going to be con and daring, so it's a 12. You're aiming for.
Okay. It's a 7 and a 1.
A 7 and a 1. So that is 1 success and 1 double success. So we're going to put 2 more into momentum. I suppose if you would like to spend that momentum right now, I will give you sort of an enhanced thing here. Otherwise, you guys do have momentum to spend to add the extra dice. You know, we haven't been doing that today.
Yeah, can I spend like one of it now?
Sure, we'll spend one of it now. So okay, in that case, you will. In that case, I will simply frame it like this. This is a rough nebula. This is going to be this is a daring thing that is being attempted. This is not a joke. To take the Admiral and his aides into this place is no joke.
When I talked to the captain earlier, was I informed about the reason that the Admiral needs to go there? Or were we informed at all?
You have not heard that yet. I will say, because you went off with Vale and then did some of this stuff, we'll just say that tell you what, make additionally, I want you to retroactively roll an insight and command roll for me. So it's a 13, no focuses.
2 and 7.
2 and 7. All right, I'm gonna actually I'll just give you a momentum for that. You think that the captain, given your state, was not telling you information about missions that you might not be a part of. It seems like this is a pretty secret situation. This is why am I not? Focus on me. I'm here. What do I do?
Here I am. Gotta go slower way.
Slower way? Oh,
Yeah,
this is
you have to
never
go like
a problem.
whoa. There,
It's called drawing focus. It's not called.
hate it.
There we go.
you're clear.
I know I did it because I went slow. He just told me to. Ugh.
He hates when we're right.
I hate when I have to do stuff. In any case, Mr. Sedek, yes, it seems like the concern here is more of a the captain probably is not filling you in on the sensitive mission given your potential issues.
Yes. I guess I'll simply say to Lieutenant Penelope Bonaventura. Bonaventura. I will say everything seems in order here. May I take this information to the captain?
Of course, yes, and I hope you. I hope everything's well with you. She does want to say feel better. She's kind of, a brief pause there, and she kind of hands the pad to you. I will say, with your extra one that you assigned, that you spent, you are under the impression that it would be difficult for anyone else to pilot this. It would be hard for you. It's asking a lot of the non-Vulcan pilots,
Yes, and also, I am the steady hand at the wheel.
You really are. It's on his sheet, guys. So, you're gonna go talk to the captain. Love it.
I will talk to the captain. Yes. Is he in his room, right, office, or ready room, or what?
The captain is in his we'll say, let's just make it an awkward thing. You go to the captain's ready room and buzz, and you hear come, and as you enter, the captain sort of looks up and says, Yes, Admiral, if you'll, and he kind of just like is talking to just the chair in front of his table. There also is an aide in the room, the Admiral's other aide. Not a human. Hey, rolled a 6, which means it's not a human. So 1, 2, 3. Hi, sorry everybody. Come up with a live. 3. A Betazoid is this other aide.
Yay!
So looks like a freaking human. But this woman, she's just sort of there, you know, kind of sitting taking notes, but looks up as you enter, and nods.
I'll just kind of nod generally to the room.
Yes, Admiral. You know, actually, I hate to try to impose in such a way on you, sir. I need to speak with Lieutenant Commander Senek about a quiet matter. I hope to. I'll come find you very soon. And the kind of there's like the aide sort of just starts gathering stuff up and looks a bit weird. Does this?
Do I see the chair swivel?
No. In fact, Mr. Senek, the chair is not even like the chair's like doesn't seem to have anyone. It's like it hasn't been
I
pulled
see
back.
no weight shift out of it. I see like nothing.
No
no
weight,
indication.
nothing. This is kind of an eerie concept for one, right?
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, I like it.
I'll just kind of stand aside, like kind of like I'm just gonna stand like facing like parallel to the entryway, so people could like pass by, you know.
Okay. Yeah, you do so, and then you sort of the aide kind of stands and walks out and gives you a nod and sort of turns around, and the captain says, sorry, Mr. Senek, that was could have been awkward. You're quite good at sort of saying nothing and just standing to one side. I'm impressed. What can I do for you?
Well, first of all, Captain, I have looked over the flight plan. It appears to be an achievable route, although it will be very dangerous. And under normal circumstances, I would say that there's no one on the ship who should pilot this course except for myself. I got the sense that he wasn't telling me information because I might be compromised in some way.
Yeah.
Captain, I do. Is it that imperative that the Admiral make this rendezvous?
He kind of gives you this look. Mr. Senek, I'm going to be very frank with you, sir, in a situation where I fear I maybe shouldn't be. I'm not completely comfortable with the orders we've been given.
May I inquire as to why, Captain?
I don't believe I can share that with you, given that, given that you may not be operating at your fullest.
That is logical.
Is there any chance? It doesn't make any sense why if we're being manipulated somehow, it makes no sense that the main person who would be critical for this plan would be manipulated in such a way so you wouldn't be, why this person would be hiding from you. It makes no sense.
I am in that. Yeah, if it is designed so that the mission would fail, then we must ask ourselves, what is the outcome of the mission that is desired? What would the outcome be of this mission should it fail?
An outcome like this would be, why would the Admiral wish to risk his life in a fiery crash if...
Is it actually the Admiral? Is someone...
I've confirmed with Starfleet that this is the Admiral. I've his service record. He kind of gestures at his screen on his desk. He's certainly him.
I mean, yes, Captain. Given that that is the case, nothing, as far as we have been able to discern, there is nothing else that. The only inability I currently have is to perceive the Admiral in any sense, or the Admiral's effect on the world around me. Given that, I do believe I could still pilot the craft.
Yes. It may come to it, but I appreciate your candor in all this, Mr. Senek. I think we should proceed under the assumption you will. The awkward thing, however, is I think we're going to need to tell the Admiral about this situation.
That will certainly make the shuttle ride much smoother, and possibly prevent me from any disciplinary action when I do not respond to the Admiral.
The least of the problems there. Fortunately, we'll make sure you're not alone on the shuttle with the Admiral, but we will want to keep the number of people present as limited as possible. Well, in that case, go ahead and he hands you back the flight plan. Go ahead and ready one of the shuttles. I think this is a job for one of the shuttles and not for the footnote. The footnote, by the way, is like your fancy, like diplomatic barge, you know, kind of like runabout size, but fancy. So
Very clever.
Like a
very
Saturday
clever.
night runabout.
Footnote. All the shuttles on this are named Note, you know something. I love how on lower decks all of the shuttles
Is the one that Commander Maxwell likes the most called Brace Note?
Fuck yes, it is. That's really good. It's the Grace Note. That is going on the launch bay list. Perfect. So, in any event, you are going to go. He hands you back the thing and sort of tells you to, prepare the shuttle and make preparations.
Aye, Captain.
So we're gonna go to you in the shuttle bay, looking the vehicle over, and suddenly you hear nothing on account of who it is, but a voice kind of goes,
Don't jump. It's me, Commander Senek. Don't be scared.
I am not scared.
I know. I just always tell people that because people say, like, I freak them out when sometimes I walk up to people and I'm like, oh, wait, and then I go back and then make really loud footsteps so they hear me.
I believe that is a kind thing of you to do.
Well, it's more because I don't like the way they scream. Senek, are you okay?
That I am currently experiencing something that I am not at full liberty to discuss without Captain's permission.
Okay. I'm just a little worried. That's all. Something's kind of weird right now.
Do you feel that something is weird?
Yeah. Do you feel something is weird?
Yes. May I inquire as to what you feel is weird?
This Admiral, he just doesn't smell right.
What do you mean the Admiral does not smell right?
Hard to describe. Like I smell him. I can hear his heartbeat. I can see the pressure points of where to stab him, like normal with everyone. But he just smells kind of off. I know, it's like it's almost like he's not there.
What? I will. How tall? How tall is Grim? Like short, right?
Grim is under 3 feet. Yeah, Grim's like.
I'm gonna drop down to a knee. I'm gonna put a hand on Grim's shoulder.
Yeah.
And I'm going to. I'm going to very quietly say, Grim. The thing that is off with me.
Mm-hmm.
I am unable to see the Admiral. I believe this. The fact that you are. This brings me some sort of relief that I am not the only one who is struggling, but this also means that this gives us another clue in this puzzle.
Weird. Okay.
Very weird. Is there any can you please be more specific with what you mean when you say the ad?
It's Quincy Vale actually made me think of it when we were talking about how things smell wrong in the holodeck. It smells like someone's just like making him, like holding him in front of me, but like if I close my eyes, like I still smell like it's not, I'm like no, that's like residual smell in my nose. It's not really flesh to stab in front of me.
It's like a LaCroix.
Yeah, he's the LaCroix man. He's a flavored sparkling water of a person.
Well, this must be brought to the captain's attention immediately.
I guess so.
And that act break.
That's what I was saying. Backbreak, like you said, when I assume we were still off screen, is what Bane did to Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, Batman.
I'm sorry.
I was wondering what would break first.
I meant to give you an act break, but I made a mistake. Yes.
Your spirit or your body?
Why does y'all's Bane sound like Kirk? A little bit?
Oh, it all is connected. Yeah.
I feel like Philip's Bane sounds like a mix of Bane and then Matt Berry.
Yes.
I am a DC villain of sex.
I am a bodybuilder of sex. Yes.
Man of Sex. Oh my god, what a good show. Anyway, my friends and neighbors, Act 4, here we go. Senec, you, Quincy Vale, Mr. Grimm, and the captain are in his quarters. We're playing the voluptuous song right now. This is not the right tone. I keep
I mean, I don't know. We'll see how the night goes.
I keep the jazzy tracks in for this game, but that's the wrong tone. All right, so we're gonna say that it is the four of you. Grace Maxwell is actually there as well. So it's Maxwell, the captain, Senec, Quincy, and Mr. Grimm are all gathered in the captain's office.
I think it'll come in with me finishing up saying it. And so, Captain, you can imagine my relief when I found I was not the only one who had some sort of issue with the Admiral's manifestation.
Senec, do Vulcans have a different visual range than other species?
Do we?
You don't. But with that question, and you are not an expert on your own sort of physiology, so that's great. So this will be a little tough. And remember, you guys, you have momentum, sir. This is going to be reason meets science, and the difficulty on this, you will gain more for sort of more successes, but difficulty here is going to be fairly high for you.
And remember, remind me, how does momentum work? I can spend momentum to get another dice roll?
You can spend, so basically, currently you guys have 4 momentum. You could spend 1 to get one more d20. You could spend 3 to get 2 more d20s.
I will spend 1 momentum.
Okay, so roll 3 d20s, and your target number is 13.
Ooh.
That's a 1 and a 5.
A 1 and a 5.
17, yeah.
A 1, a 5, and a 17. That is 2 successes. The difficulty of this. All right, I'm going to give you a partial on this in that case. You don't see on a different...
Is that not a 3? Or do I have to beat the sign?
Because it's not a focus of yours, Oh wait.
Okay.
Oh, do you roll a 1?
A 1 and
I
a
am so
5.
sorry. That is 3. It's 3.
Yeah.
So sorry. Yes. With that, Vulcans have the same visual senses as humans, and the same aural senses as humans as well. What you don't share are the same kind of like telepathic, like mental wave frequencies. Your brain doesn't function at the same level as theirs.
Then I will share this information with everyone assembled. So perhaps there is this would then lead me to suspect that the Betazoid might have something to do with it.
Not an illogical position.
Or that yes, I would suggest that, or that there is some other. I mean, because everyone else can hear and see these things.
Yeah. You are the only Vulcan serving aboard the Noteworthy at present.
Yes.
Not too many people have interacted with the Admiral, but you're the only one who's had trouble until now. Mr. Grimm is saying he smells things weird. Ooh, I'm gonna use some threat right now. Counselor Vale. I'm gonna spend a couple of my threat points to make this scene be a little more complicated, because it's fun to.
Okay.
I'm really only supposed to do that at other times when this is the casual game, so we just gotta do it. Quincy Vale. You probably feel the need to mention here that it is in no way uncommon for Mr. Grimm to tell you that things smell weird or off. Mr. Grimm often complains about scents. He was even talking about the holodeck, but he often is telling you, this thing smells weird, that doesn't smell right, something's weird about it. It's like, you know he says that a lot. If you want to share this, you can, you don't have to.
I would not. No. I would not like to.
Understood.
Because considering the circumstances, it may very well be relevant.
Understood.
And I don't want to dismiss that. Or am I being compelled to?
No, you're not being compelled to. It's just you do think
Okay.
that thought pops in your head. The captain says, the problem, Mr. Senek, is that we have our orders. I can't understand how masking the Admiral from you changes those orders. That being said, as much as I'm loath to do it, I do think that we need to assign one other individual to that shuttle, someone who can see the Admiral and who can communicate his orders to you. I don't want to endanger anyone else in my crew for such a dangerous mission, but I think it's necessary that you not be the only person there, and potentially all of the orders are coming through this Betazoid aide who we now suspect.
I would.
Or possibly suspect.
I agree, Captain. I suppose it is. You're the captain. It is at your discretion who you might send.
Any volunteers? Maxwell's like, I'll go. Grimm says, I'll go. Vale, would you volunteer?
Oh, absolutely, yes. I thought that was implied. I will volunteer as well.
Counselor.
Yes.
Very dangerous.
Oh, I understand. When is the mission not?
Most of the time, if I'm doing my job properly.
That's very fair, Captain.
Yeah. Maxwell says, I mean, Quincy, if you think you can do it, it's fine. Just I'm going to. I don't want to speak for Alina, but I'm going to insist that you arm yourself. The captain says, now, Miss Maxwell, hold on. She says, I just Captain, if you think something's amiss, I, of course, never think violence is the first choice, but in this circumstance, I think it would be foolish not to. Very well. It is standard procedure for an away mission in any case.
I understand, absolutely. And I would like to let you know, I think it is important that I'm on this mission to assist with any
Okay.
psychological issues that may occur.
I think that makes sense. All right, well, thank you, Mr. Grimm. Go back to your normal rounds. We appreciate your input. He kind of says,
Yes, aye, sir.
and just leaves. Maxwell says, something about this does feel wrong, but you two just keep your eyes open. Let us know what you need. He'll say, go ahead and, I suppose now we do need to have that awkward conversation with the Admiral, which we'll cut to. So basically, Quincy, you walk in. The Admiral's just sitting there in a chair. Senec, there is a chair, like, not pulled out, like, pushed up against the table that they're all talking to. But the captain comes in and says, Admiral, this could have been decided ahead of time. Are you going to mention this? You're going to talk to his aides as well?
I mean, I would have suggested that it just be the Admiral, because if either of the aides are in on it, then I mean, if it is a telepathic projection, they will still probably know, but that doesn't. It's better to cover as many.
Basically, the you guys meet with the Admiral alone. That's Captain Senec and Vale meet with the Admiral alone. Perfect. He kind of, as you sort of come in, the Betazoid kind of gives you like an odd look, as she's needing to leave, but the human Penelope Bonaventura just kind of like smiles and kind of just like gives you a nod of a, not like a, just like hope you're doing okay kind of thing, and they walk out. The captain sort of pauses for a few moments before finally saying, well, Admiral, that's actually what we wanted to talk to you about. Mr. Senec, why don't you explain the situation?
Yeah, I'll just describe that I cannot see the Admiral, and that right now all I see is the chair pushed into the desk, and I've not been able to observe anything regarding the Admiral.
The Admiral sort of like, Vale, basically, the captain will reply because he's the captain, but the captain says, we assure you this is no joke. This is the officer who is the only one equipped to take you into the nebula, sir, but I do not believe, that this is, Mr. Senec is a consummate officer. This is no joke, sir. Quincy Vale, you can speak to whether or not you think he's fit to duty, because that's what the Admiral's asking right now.
Oh, I thought he was. Sorry.
No, the like Senec hears nothing, but what Senec hears is silence, and the captain goes, "No, it's not a joke at all." And then more silence, and then you say something.
Okay. Lieutenant Commander Senec is absolutely capable of getting you to your destination. We just need to maintain the proper communications between you and him, and this mission will be a success.
To that point, that's why we want Constable Vale has volunteered to come along on the mission with you. The Admiral, you hear nothing, Senec, but Quincy, what you would hear, God, I wonder how they'd shoot this one. Would you ever have an actor there or not? I don't know what to do. So basically, Quincy, you sort of hear a response, and you can basically reply to the idea of like you're putting yourself in danger, like that's not necessary, sort of thing.
I wouldn't have signed up for Starfleet if I wasn't willing to participate in these kinds of missions.
Admirals, we fear something is amiss. This is not the only member of our crew who has had some degree of confusion since your arrival. I don't think there's anyone else who can handle this as a lieutenant commander. But clearly you need to be made aware. I wouldn't be comfortable with it either, no. I'd say he's a... No, I agree. He's a Vulcan 10, Earth 8, sure, yeah. It's fine. Clockwise, but I don't see what that has to do with anything, sir. No, in any case, so basically kind of, it sounds like the Admiral, and suddenly, Xenic, you sort of track Vale and the captain's eyes, like, moving across the room and, like, ending right in front of you.
Just kind of nod a little bit, but I'm just...
God, you really can't see him.
No, sir.
Can you not feel that?
And
Vale, you also see that the Admiral's like just like putting a hand on his like.
Yeah, and I'm like, is this appropriate?
I mean, look at his look. The fabric of your uniform. It's you don't see that at all.
I sense nothing, Captain, and Admiral, and I see no movement of my uniform.
I can assure you it's not due to any kind of mental deficiency. He is completely capable of everything he was prior to this, except seeing a particular admiral for some reason.
It's strange times, but Admiral, I fear. And sir, sure enough, beep beep, from Marvin. Captain, we are. Oh no, this would be Maxwell. She's out there. You know, Maxwell will come in and say, Captain, we are approaching the nebula. Understood. Are you all ready? If
Yes,
you
sir.
have doubts, Admiral, then perhaps we can... No? All right. I guess then we will proceed. Godspeed. He'll sort of walk out. The aides are sort of both out in the hallway, just kind of like, looking over stuff, having heard, various things.
And can I go up to Senec and just say very softly, are you sure you want to do this?
Yes, I have no doubt that I'm the only one on the ship who can do this.
Okay. Let's go.
Wheels up.
All right. So, as you guys go, the kind of the aides sort of say yes, sir, at once, and all of you kind of head to. Oh, fuck, guys, this is gonna be a slightly long. Actually, act break. Okay, it's not gonna be a longer act break because that's boring, so they can talk for a second.
Wait, we're back on.
Yeah.
How about, hey, you know what was great? I got to wear a hoodie this morning.
Oh, because it was chilly.
Yeah. And then it's supposed to not be chilly next week. That's what we talk about in LA, the weather. What?
Oh, it's in here. Wait.
What is happening?
Oh, it's minis. Getting a shuttle.
Getting a shuttle. Damn it, I forgot a shuttle. This whole thing's about a shuttle. I knew that from the get-go.
Get ready for some special effects. Those of you who may have just tuned in.
Shuttle to Nerium, what is your destination?
It's an older code, sir, but it checks out. I'm endangering the mission. I shouldn't have come. Son of a gun! Did I already pull the shuttles out? Oh wait, no. Here's a runabout. I don't think I have any Type 9 shuttles though. I think they're only like the yeah, that's the.
It's okay, Phil, we'll fix it in post.
We do post live. It's not post. It's now. Everything must be work in the body of the letter. Hi. Okay. Goodbye, Scimitar. You won't be needed. Hello. Oh, we're gonna go with the boxy one. Cool. So, sorry about that, everyone. Very unprofessional. So.
This is a very professional channel.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That's what all the New York Times reviews are saying about our channel.
Especially voluptua.
professional.
More on that later.
Professional. ... Awkward. ... Clearly emotionally disturbed. Raves the New York Times.
Yeah.
Okay. So. Oh shoot, I'm too low. Wait. Oh my god.
Yep.
It's so rough. I don't know what's so stupid. I think it's funny. It's where we are. Anyway. It's a cool little shuttle though. I like it.
It's very cute.
In any case, my friends, you are both aboard the shuttle, along with a Betazoid. I don't think we ever named the Betazoid. She's Lieutenant with a Q. She's Lieutenant Qually. Like, what's her face? Alright, so anyway. And Senec, it cuts into, like, it's... I might take this away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Please make, for me, a helm roll. This is going to use Con and Daring.
Alright.
But it is small craft, so 5 or lower gets 2. Difficulty is 3. Would you like to use any momentum?
Does my precision maneuvering reduce the difficulty of this task by 1?
I am actually going to say in this case it doesn't, because this is not so much about, like, a narrow thing. This is about riding crazy, like, currents and stuff like that.
In that case, I'll spend 1 momentum.
Spend 1 momentum, so you'll get to roll 3 dice on this. Alrighty.
7, 8, and 17.
7, 8, and 17. So, you have 2 successes. This was a difficulty of 3, so we're going to call this a...
Sorry. No, it's a 3, not an 8. It's a weird die.
A 3, perfect. Then in that case, it is 3, and the show can carry on. You know, on Next Generation, they rolled dice to see if the stuff would work out. In some episodes, like remember the one where Worf dies? It's because they rolled bad, and they were like, "Hope nobody remembers next week." He's back. Anyway, as you guys are sort of traveling through, it's really intense. The Admiral Quincy Vale, you will sort of, the Admiral is asking how much further.
How much further, Senec?
I will say how much further there is.
I will repeat that.
Okay. As you guys are sort of going through this nebula, it's very intense. And the Betazoid is basically saying, so there's something, if this isn't, she's like Admiral, if this, it's not too late for us to turn back. If something is wrong with this pilot, I still don't quite understand.
There's nothing wrong with this pilot.
He literally can't see the man who's sitting here.
His flying abilities are perfectly intact.
Commander Senec.
Yes.
At this moment, you hear a voice in your mind.
Okay.
The voice simply says, it's the voice of that woman, that Betazoid. Can you hear me?
I will respond yes. Or I will think yes. I'm like mostly focusing on flying.
She's just like, what are you playing at?
I will think I'm playing at nothing, Lieutenant.
The ship shakes as another violent thing hits. It's getting intense. It's getting crazy. You are coming to these sort of coordinates in place. Kind of Vale, you're sort of strapped in there. The Admiral is giving orders. You're conveying them. You do notice occasionally, like the Betazoid or the human will like start to like say what the admiral has said, but they're kind of like letting you say it, and so far no one's like saying anything contrary to what he has said. You guys make your way through through this kind of like nebula, and Senec, the good news is we also don't have to roll every single thing in this. You're damn good at what you do. Come on. So you get through. When suddenly, out of cloak, comes an unidentified ship of a variety you've never seen before.
I will, pull up and I will kind of look at Counselor Vale. Is anyone on board familiar with this vessel?
The admiral. I will say, Penelope Bonaventura will say, I think this is the species we're here to rendezvous with. And the admiral will be saying, yes, that's them. The admiral gives the orders to lower shields.
Lower shields.
Should we not first hail them? Do I know are we knowing Starfleet regulations and I don't know. It's a much bigger ship than ours, right?
It is a much bigger ship than yours. Tell you what, make a scanner roll. This is for you. I'm going to roll one for this ship assisting you. But for you, let's simply call this. I'm gonna let it be con since it's I'm just gonna say you're using the thing on the console. This will be con and reason. Oh Jesus. Okay, so that's a 7. Roll under a 17 one time.
14 and 7.
Well, got another momentum there. This ship is very heavily armed. It is much larger than yours. Yeah, the real scale of it is like that kind of a thing,
Okay.
And it is heavily armed. Has weapons fit, kind of what you assume are some kind of phaser banks are charged, but they're unfamiliar type phasers.
Their weapons are charged.
Their weapons seem to be charged. The ship seems fully charged for everything. The admiral saying lower the shields. The Betazoid is saying, have we hailed them, or is this part of and Penelope saying, yeah, this seems. I mean, are you sure, sir? Are you? The admiral is now explaining, no, I was. Vale, you can translate this if you wish. The admiral is basically saying, no, I was told that we must come here, lower our shields, and I will be beamed aboard.
I will convey that.
I would personally feel much safer if we establish some form of communication before, sight unseen, we lower our shields in front of a much larger vessel whose phasers are armed and ready to fire. Have they locked onto us?
They are not locked, but they seem ready to blast. At this point, the Betazoid's like, you need to listen to the admiral's orders. I don't understand. And Penelope kind of comes up to you and kind of says, I don't know what's going on with you, Lieutenant Commander, but we don't have time. And kind of like, also, I should mention, the ships are like this, but it's also like it's being buffeted by the nebula in a crazy way. Because nebulas are storms, I guess. They're not, but here they are. Go ahead, Quincy.
Yeah. I think I figured it out. Well, I can't say anything because they'll hear me.
Okay.
Could I whisper to Senec in a way that nobody else will hear?
No, you're strapped in elsewhere, but Quincy's something is dawning on her now.
He's a decoy. I think he's a decoy. I don't know, but I could be wrong. I'm not going to say it. it.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what you could do, Vale. In that case, Quincy, do you believe he should not lower the shields?
I don't think he should lower the shields. But I don't want to, but it's going to cause, but if we don't follow their rules.
Basically, here's the thing. Who do you trust right now, Vale? This admiral or Senec?
Senec.
Then I'm going to let you, why don't you do I want you to make a presence and science, it's medicine, go ahead, it's a 14, This is you just conveying what you need to convey to him.
Okay.
And yeah. I'm actually going to even have this be a positive. Yeah, go ahead. Roll a presence and medicine. So that's a 14.
Shoot. A 10 and a 5.
10 and a 5. Those are both successes. So I will say, we're not going to do the kind of the positive reinforcement. You'll get that because it's difficulty 3, so you wouldn't need to spend stuff. Whatever, that's not what this is about. Basically, Senek, I simply want you to make an insight command roll that's a 13.
Okay. 7 and a 19.
7, 19. That's a success. Fortunately, no one's rolled a 20 today for any complications. With that roll, Mr. Senek, you sort of glance back at Quincy, and her face is basically telling you she doesn't trust this. She's been communicating with the Admiral, but now that you're here, staring down this Star Wars universe ship, because I didn't have a model, as it's staring this thing down, like, you don't feel good about the situation, Mr. Senek.
I will attempt to hail the ship. In that case.
You attempt to hail the ship. The bait is what he's saying. You're, sir, I don't. Why is and Penelope's kind of coming up and saying, that seems fine. Yes, go ahead and hail them. And suddenly, kind of over comms, you just hear like this crackling sound of
Lower your shields.
That sounds too much like Grim. Hold on, I'll do a different thing.
Lower your shields.
That's the aliens.
Can I make some kind of I don't know, so one of my focuses is diplomacy. Is it what I don't know
I'll tell you what. You have a focus in diplomacy. I want this is command insight once again.
Okay.
Or no, this is security insight. It's even a little lower.
What that's
It's only an 11.
okay, well, I rolled a 9 and an 11, so
Okay. Never forget. So with that, it's 2, and you're gonna gain 1 more momentum. You guys have 4 momentum. You know that this is not a diplomatic mission. This seems something. You are now sure something is off. These aliens are up to something, and more importantly than that, they're in control. Whoever's on this ship giving whatever orders they're giving, they're the ones in control, not you. And not this admiral you've never seen. Wait, sorry. Force perspective. There we go. The admiral is shouting, lower the shields, lower the shields. Quincy, you're being told to convey that. And Penelope, you don't hear what's being said, but Penelope next to you, Senek, is like, sir, just calm down. And Penelope's like, it's all right, Mr. Senek. Just this, something seems wrong here, but the admiral is just, sir, please. She's trying.
He said to lower the shields.
Their phasers are charged on us. I will not. It does not seem like a prudent course of action.
I shook my head, Senek. I don't know if you saw.
I did see. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it is at that time that
I'm also ready to if their phasers are charged, I'm ready to zippity doo dah skedaddle. Yeah.
Then I'm gonna say you should probably. Well, here's the thing. You're going to do that. And I think you do have some stats to do this in a whatever way. Strafing run would not be this. Okay.
Right. I either was going to take strafing run or evasive maneuvers, and
You wound up with strafing run. So okay. So yeah, and this does not have the weapons to do a strafe against this thing.
Yeah.
So
no.
So this is going to be There's no thing of this. However, at this moment, Senek, something's wrong. And you have this little sense of danger, and you're not sure, but you do feel like they're about to fire. So I need you to make as the weapons begin to charge, go ahead and make a con. I would say daring, but because this is crazy, but no, it can be con and control. You're slipping to stuff. However, the difficulty, this is not a precision situation because it's not precision is about placement, it's not dodging. So this is a 16, but this is a difficulty of 3.
I'll spend a momentum to get another die.
If you'd like to spend, because we're towards at the end, if you want to spend 3 momentum, you can have 2 extra dice.
Sure, why not?
All right, so roll 4 d20s. I'll still let this be small craft, so 5s and under count as double.
Oh boy. That was a 1,
It's 2.
And
a 12,
Uh-huh.
an 18,
Okay. And
and a 19.
a 19. Now, I won't
So close.
I won't do
Yeah.
this on you guys, but I should actually mention that this game does have rules and there's circumstances, and I'm now realizing I should have added it to this, and I might just do it because everything's gonna be okay because of shenanigans. There are rules where it says a complication occurs on lower number, or like on, so it's like there's some
Like a bigger cop. Yeah.
so I'm actually gonna say a complication will occur here because you rolled a 19,
Okay.
but I think it'll be okay because you've rolled enough successes that as the ship opens fire, Penelope reaches across and hits the button to remove shields. But before she is able to punch it, before she's able to confirm, like she slides the shields down before she hits confirm, you hear a sound. And she sort of crumples to one side, and Grim, who was hiding in the pipes, kind of knocks her down. When she falls and loses consciousness, Counselor Vale, the Admiral,
yes.
disappears.
Wait, I disappear?
No, the Admiral.
Oh,
disappears.
I was like,
And the Betazoid, Miss Quali, she's like, what just happened? Where's the Admiral? Was he beamed away? But Senek, at this point, you're doing it, and she goes, what the hell is that thing?
I'm just saying, Grim, secure the lieutenant, and I'm just gonna keep.
One step ahead of you.
Yeah.
He ties her like legs back and
Yeah.
from anyone else it would be some real shibari nonsense, but from him it's just like
Yep.
this ain't voluptua, Philip.
Easiest way to carry her on a stick. Don't you worry.
yeah. So with that, Senek,
yeah.
you are trying to give me one more. This can be con and control. This will just be a difficulty 2.
Okay. And how much momentum we have left?
You got 1 momentum left.
I'll just spend that momentum here to get an extra die.
Sounds good.
Would it be possible to contact the Noteworthy?
You can try. You could go to a communications thing. How do we do, Senek?
3-19-19.
Stop it!
1919. The good news for you in this thing, it's a 2.
2 successes.
2 successes, and this is not a circle. The thing was that she was like reaching through your hands to
Yeah,
hit something.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
why it was. So those 19s are fine. So basically, we'll just call this close because between there's things where you're like you feel like the nacelles straining, the Betazoid's just screaming. You were trying to contact the
Yes.
Go ahead.
Noteworthy.
And sure enough, actually, no. Let's make one last roll that's hard. Or not hard. This will be you're good at it's a engineering and reason, so 12. So roll 2d20.
Okay. I got a 2 and an 8.
2 and an 8. Great. So both succeed. So you manage to get through like all the chatter, and in fact, you hear the Noteworthy. You hear Marvin, or no, you would hear Alina because she's in the thing. She's like, Grace Note, do you hear us? Grace Note, come in.
Yes, we're here. We're on our way back. We had to abandon the mission.
Yes, once you were into the nebula, everyone realized that we had no idea who Admiral Paulson is. Is everyone okay?
Every Noteworthy crew member is fine. By the way, Grim's here. I think he'll be proud of him, though.
Well,
We've got a lot to explain.
Wait, Grim is there? He wasn't authorized to be on.
Well, I'm giving him retroactive authorization to have been on this
He's
mission.
my
so
department, Quincy. Why do you always? At this point, we'll cut to a scene of. So basically, we're going to pause with. What's the poignant way to end this? We're going to cut from this to back in the. We're going to cut to this in Senek in the dark as you suddenly, no rolls required, you come up and take out one of the skeleton dudes. Quincy Vale, you're sort of also, you're holding like a little thing and just being like weird, and Grim's like,
Don't worry. This is still we turned it down for you.
Thank you.
And basically at this point, and we actually roleplayed this way more than I thought we were going to, just because there were two of you here and it's fine. It was basically just an episode.
But it's the two of us. So.
I should have. But so basically the idea here is it was then learned that his aide had some kind of like transmitter and was using this stuff. She was working for these aliens. She was going to, she'd gathered a ton of data and was going to, she used the Admiral to she used this fake Admiral she'd create to get all this data that she downloaded. She was going to deliver it to these aliens in this thing and then have the ship be blown up like mysteriously. She didn't count on a Vulcan was her problem. It didn't work on the Vulcan. And then she wound up needing the Vulcan, so it was a problem. So yes, that was I'm sure in the real episode, like, that Penelope character would have been in it more and, like, whatever, as her trickery was going on. But the point is, as you guys fight another skeleton guy at the end, that's what we'll call the end of this episode.
Right.
Hooray!
That was so good. I'm so glad I was able to make it.
Cool.
Yay! Do you want to explain what this was for people who may just be tuning in?
Hi everyone. So yeah, this is us playing. We play the Star Trek Adventures game on the first Friday of every month, but I kind of just wanted to do some like other ones that were meant to just be like a quick hour. Yeah, right. And we're meant to not be a full session. Yeah, right. The sequel. So for a future one, like next week, whoever does it, I'm gonna really try to have it be like, nope, just like, here's what happened to the thing. This was just a full episode. It's fine. It was I like this one a lot though.
This is a good one.
It felt like a Star Trek.
It did.
So basically, but the idea is that we want to like
Short treks.
like sort of short treks, but it's more that we want it to be like how some episodes of Next Generation, you're like, I'm watching this one, and then others you're like, I'm just gonna like, oh yeah, I remember this one, I'll skip for now. These are the ones you might skip in like your binge watch,
This one's a niche favorite one for people who are really into it.
But that's the thing. It's like if you're a Senec fan, you're like, oh my god, like Senec, the best Senec episode is the Unseen. Remember that one? Everyone's like, oh, that in fairness is a good one. I don't like the one where Senec falls in love with the ice cream woman. Everyone's like, wait, what?
Look, and it's just weird. Like the writers, it's just like before the writers really had a sense for Senec's character, and so like it just like, of course he wouldn't fall in love with the ice cream woman. He's more of a sorbet man.
Exactly. Didn't count on a Vulcan. So anyway, yeah, there you go. And that was it. I had Grimm involved because when I didn't know anything else would be here, I just thought Senec and Grimm's a funny pairing. So I was like, let's have a Grimm thing. And like how since Grimm is a replicant, he created by a replicator because of nonsense. Like he might something they wouldn't have accounted for him as well. But he's not a telepath, so his brain's not. So anyway, there you go. That was a fun little session of that. I really enjoyed that, guys. Thank you so much for being here. And it's also weird, like, we're going to do this, and now I can just eat dinner and watch TV. What a life.
Like there's, like, time to do things
Yeah,
afterwards.
exactly. It's crazy. No, this was super, this was super fun. So, we'll do another one of these kind of at some point next week, but these aren't regularly scheduled. They might happen in the day, kind of just quick stuff. You can always catch up on these on Twitch or on... we will be getting on YouTube within the next month or so. Look forward to being able to catch up more conveniently there. But for now, you can go to our Twitch page, twitch.tv/longlostlore. You can also go to our About page there to see all the cool stuff about that our players get up to. And go to our Discord.
While we were playing, I added a Star Trek Adventures section in the About section.
Well, perfect. Also go to our Discord where we post recaps of stuff. We talk there and talk about the merchandise you could buy in Voluptua if you're interested in such things.
I'm gonna make some
Robes. Well,
we should honestly make a Long Lost Lore Etsy store with
We
like
should.
certain
an
stuff.
Etsy store?
You can like have a printer that you work with and you can
gotcha.
design.
That's well, yeah. So very good. So check out. We have a bunch of other shows. I guess I'll plug them all real quick, but we don't have to do the full spiel. On tomorrow night, we'll be back in Voluptua for Blood from a Stone. It's going to be a steamy time. So many stupid jokes about that. On Saturday, we will have another Long Lost Loves. I hear it is about...
It's tentatively the Karate Kid for sure. Possibly karate movies that we all watched.
Is
as
it about like
kids.
is it about like Cobra Kai as well?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Karate in the 80s, 90s, and today.
Karate.
Jean-Claude Van Damme?
I don't think
No, he
I don't
deserves his own.
I don't. Did he ever do karate, or was he always doing other?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I never saw, like, Karate Kid, so.
There you go. There's no reason he would if he's young. So that's on that is on Saturday. On Sunday at 7:30 p.m. we will be here for our A More Wretched Hive. I should be back by then, or one of our Star Wars game. That's the one about the band. On Monday, it's our Star Wars game called Civilized Age with these two as a divorced couple. That's 7:30 on Monday, and then on Tuesday we're nearing the end. They have a lot of clues. They've also finally decided to do a thing I thought they would have started doing weeks ago, which is look in everyone's bedrooms, because that's where I put all the clues. So we may be nearing the end of Murder by Murder on Tuesday.
What I'll say, Philip, is you keep saying every week you're like, I think they're getting pretty close to figuring this out. I think this is a week they're gonna figure it out. They don't.
That is true.
It's some real. There's been. I feel like I have not set that game up quite well enough because I'm worried about people figuring stuff out, so I have to obfuscate and obscure everything.
Which keeps them from figuring it out.
Shouldn't have done it. So yeah. Anyway, so that's all our crazy stuff. So please, thank you all so much for being here on a Thursday afternoon or evening already, if you're on that good old East Coast. Or there's also many other places in the world that people could be watching from. So wherever you are, thank you so much. Until next time, 3 to transport.